Hello! It's Jen here with Perpetual Odyssey, and as you can see, this is our little chicken bird. She likes to take baths, but that's not what this video is about. So we're going to be taking a van camping trip in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to be taking the dogs, and we're driving over 1,200 miles one way, and we are wanting to take our bird with us.
Good morning to you.
Now, since she's a very spoiled little bird, she will not go in a cage. We have one and we've tried to put her in it and it just freaks her out and I'm afraid she's going to get hurt. So I am going to try to build her a little chicken coop. I took some leftover wood that we had stored from another project and I bought some pine boards at the local Home Depot and I began improving a chicken coop. I repurposed some screws from the bed frame that we had removed from the RV earlier this year. And since Chicken doesn't like the cage wires, but she sits in the window of the RV all of the time, I just decided to get some screening for the windows and cover the coop with that, hoping that she wouldn't be afraid of it. Once it was done and I brought it inside the RV, I let it sit there for about a day and I would set her on top of it. And then I started setting her food tray inside of it and she would just kind of look at it. Now, eventually she got curious and she started coming over and wanting to know how to get in there. She wouldn't actually go in on her own, but I would start to feed her sitting on the tray like halfway out of the coop and she did fine with that. And then the next day I put it in a little further. And like halfway through the second or third day, she actually started eating the food from inside perfectly content and she had no problem with it. Now, that was all with the door open, and eventually I did have to close the door on her. I waited until the very last minute, and right before we were getting ready for leaving the trip, I closed the door on her, and she actually ended up doing fine. And so when we got back from our trip, I really did not want her to get like not used to having that coop anymore. And I don't know when next time we're going to take her on a road trip anywhere. So as silly as it is, I decided to stack up some stuff outside of the back of our kitchen window, and I set the coop right outside the window so that the door of the coop lines up with the window. And so I'm going to start to put her outside into her chicken coop where she can spend some time outside in the sun. This is her first introduction to it, and as you'll see as this video goes on, she took to it really well. It took her a couple of minutes to be confident enough to jump off of my hand and onto her basket, but she did. And she's looking very content and curious, which are good signs. So I am going to step away and go actually outside the RV and show you what it's like from there. Who's in her little cage? Who's in her chicken coop in the sun? Chicken is outside in the sun. And it just happened that as I was making this video, Casey was coming home from work. And so here he is coming around the corner, and he has no idea that the chicken is out here in the coop. So I'm telling him to be quiet and come around slow because I didn't want to startle her. And here he is getting to see her in her outside coop for the first time. Come say hello. Come say hello to her. And here, as you can see, Casey just went inside. You can see his blue shirt through the window of the kitchen. And all said and done, I stacked the coop on top of the old cage, which she wouldn't go in, on top of our folding table, on top of our tool storage bin. I know that's kind of ridiculous, and obviously it's not that safe if, I don't know, it could get knocked over if the wind blows hard or something, but I'm only going to put her out here when we're right here to supervise her, and I think that all said and done, it's making her very happy, and she'll stay used to the coop, which is really important, so that next time we need to take her someplace, it'll be all easy to do. And as always, thanks for watching, and happy RVing adventures!